Excretory system. Excretory system is system excretion. The process of removing residual substances that are not needed by the body. Any four excretory organs in the body: any kidney, skin, lungs, and heart. Kidney produce urine. Skin produce sweat. Lungs produce carbon dioxide and water vapor. And heart produce bile. Kidney structure. If the kidney is the slice setwise, it will look like this. Kita potong secara penampang pelintang. You will see the anatomical structure of the kidney as shown. Kidney structure is divided into part cortex, or kidney skin, medulla or kidney marrow, pelvis or kidney cavity. Inside the kidney, there are blood vessels to be cleaned called the renal arteries. The renal arteries shown in the color red. In the kidney, there is a place for blood vessel called the renal veins. Vena renalis shown color blue. The mechanism of urine formation in the kidneys. Now we learn about the inside of the kidney. In the kidney, there is the unit that function to form urine. It's called the nephron. The nephron is divided into several parts. Badan Malpighi or Malpighi body, tubulus contortus proximal, Henle arch or lengkung Henle, tubulus contortus distal, tubulus collectivus. Now take a closer look at the body part of Malpighi. On the body of Malpighi, there is a roll of blood capillary called the glomerulus. And the part that cover the glomerulus called the Bowman capsule. Blood will flow from the glomerular capillary supplied from the efferents arterioles. Afferent means to enter well, efferens means out. During blood flow, it causes pressure so that the small molecules are pushed out of the glomerulus through the space between cells. Space between cells is endothel. Whereas large molecules such as protein and fat cannot leave the glomerulus through the space between cells and remain in the capillaries. so that only small molecules are filtered out in the Bowman capsule. The process of filtering molecule in the Bowman capsule is called filtration. The result of this filtration is called primary urine. Primary urine contains molecule air, urea, ammonia, glucose, asam amino, natrium, and water mineral. The next stage of urine formation takes place in the proximal convoluted tube. Tubulus contortus proximal. Primary urine will flow in the proximal tubule. There will be reabsorption of substances that are still needed for the body, such as any air, asam amino, and glucose. Capillae peritubulus are blood vessels that surround the tubule of the nephron or tubule contortus proximal. Water. Part of the water will be reabsorbed in the blood due to the influences of osmotic pressure. Asam amino and glucose acid will be reabsorbed through active transport through the tubular epithelium to peritubular capillaries, while useless molecules such as urea and ammonia will remain in the proximal tubule. The process that occurs for reabsorption of substance is called reabsorption. Reabsorption results are referred to as secondary urine. Does not contain substances that are useful for the body: water, urea, ammonia, and water mineral. And living substances that are not useful for the body. Well, furthermore, urine will enter the covered part called the Henle arch. The Henle curve is divided into two, namely the descending arc is called the descending curve and the rising area is called the ascending curve. Ascending up, urine that passes through the descending area will experience reabsorption. The rising area will undergo an augmentation process which will be discussed in the next video. The urine will enter the final urine formation site called the distal convolute tubule. Tubulus contortus distal. In the distal tubule of the secondary urine will undergo an augmentation process. namely the process of adding unnecessary waste substance from the peritubular capillary to the tubulus. Waste substance that are no longer needed in the form of hormones that are not needed by the body, such as antibiotic, medical substance, ammonium, and others. The result of the augmentation is actual urine. Urine actually contains most of water, urea, ammonia, as well as some substances that are not resourced in the body, hormone, and mineral water. Then all the urine will actually travel to the collecting tubulus. This collecting tubulus will flow into the pelvic tubulus. Other excretory organs, kidney, skin, lungs, and heart. Next explanation about skin. On the skin there are two parts, namely the epidermis and dermis. In the dermis there are sweat glands that will produce sweat in our bodies. And namely kelenjar keringat or sweat glands. Our sweat contains water and mineral salt. Sweat is produced because the capillary under skin expand under the influence of heat and hormones. Blood will pass under the skin. Some of the water and mineral salt will diffuse and will produce sweat again, which will be ready to exit through the skin pores. Next explanation about lungs. In the lungs there are alveoli, which are the exchange place between oxygen and carbon dioxide. Alveolus, this process causes oxygen to enter the blood and carbon dioxide to be released into the alveolus space. From the alveoli, carbon dioxide is released out of the body. But a further process will be discussed in the respiratory system. And last, heart. The old red blood cells broken down by liver into bile. As already explained in the digestive system, that this bile will help emulsify fat so that is easily digested by the body. Example of this size of the excretory system. Kidney stones are the size in which urine long enough because of the low water content. Urea less urine hardens and form crystal structure or sharp rock. This urea stone crystal will also flow into the ureter of the kidney, but due to its hard and sharp structure, this crystal gets stuck and injure the ureter, causing pull in the sufferer. Diabetes insipidus occurs because there is a hormone disturbance, ADH, hormone responsible for the reabsorption when the ADH hormone isn't working properly, so that the reabsorption process is useful and the substance needed by the body do not enter the body. Consequently, the urine that is released by the body still contains glucose and amino. Because the reabsorption process is disrupted and ultimately makes the water content in the kidney become a lot, this will have an impact if a person is suffering from diabetes insipidus. As a result, this diabetes insipidus sufferer looks tired and weak due to toilet albuminuria. There is description of albumin and protein in the bold. There is bleeding in the glomerulus so that the protein in the blood will enter the urine.